Hi, welcome. Sarah Mack here, and I'm excited to bring you this training on energy management for big life transitions. Now, I made a promise that I would add anything to your to-do list, and there are a few actionables in this training, but I want you to know that when you say yes to these actionable trainings, it'll actually wipe off a whole load of other unnecessary bullshit from your to-do list, bring you more spaciousness, more energy, and more productivity so that your life feels more easeful. Hi, Jeanette. Yay, nice to see you. So this is really about making some powerful shifts, and it's such a great time to be in this conversation. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere and you're on the East Coast, anywhere where it's cold, it's like hibernation season. It's when things can tend to get a little bit stagnant, and accessing vitality takes a little bit more consciousness. So these are strategies that I've used in my own life and also to help my clients to really create more freedom energetically, financially, and when you unlock, like, the world belongs to the energetic, right? If we don't have energy, we can't do anything that we want to in the world. So when we get to access higher levels of energy, we have more success with creating the things that we desire to create in the world. We get to do, and this is really the work that I do, both in my own life and with my clients, to help them to create more of what they want, less of the things they don't, which is the procrastination, the resistance, the bullshit things that aren't in alignment with where we really want to be going with our big, soul-led mission in the world. So this is for you, even if you don't believe it's possible for you right now because you've maybe never experienced being able to, hit your income goals, doing the things that you love, or create those results that you've been dreaming about. And maybe you've got a few lurking limiting beliefs going on, or maybe you're just lacking a bit of clarity around your ability to hit your goals. This is going to supercharge your ability to create everything that you desire. So this is for you if you're creative, if you're a multi-passionate entrepreneur who is struggling to live a life of both creative freedom and being able to make the money that you want. This is for you if you're a big dreamer, but you're also an action taker. You're willing to step outside of your comfort zone and try something new. And you know deep down in your bones that what you have to say and you're being visible with your message is really important, whether you're sharing it through your art or through your business. So this is for you if you want to reach more people, make more money, and have higher levels of health and wellness by working less, and you want it all now. Because if you're like me, you're really freaking impatient, and when you have an idea, you want to be able to experience it now. So why should you listen to me? Well, I'm a multi-passionate creative. My background ranges across performance, dance, theatre, film, and advertising. I'm now a creative business owner. I've spent 5 years writing marketing copy for thousands of digital entrepreneurs. I've served many incredible clients. I work with artists, coaches, and healers through my coaching business in the last 2 years, through running online group programs and one-on-one coaching. I've doubled my income every year for the past 3 years. I hit 6 figures in income last year, and I've created the time to start performing again here in New York, in Montreal, and in the UK, this time as a rapper. And I've also traveled to, lived in, and worked in 15 different countries in the past 5 years, working remotely as a digital nomad. So I've created a lot of instances where I've been able to have an idea, have a dream, and birth it into reality. And I'll also tell you, share with you some of the struggles that I've been through in that process, and how these techniques and these processes that I'm going to share with you have really supported me to maximize my energy levels and enable me to follow through on my vision and create these results. So clients that I've worked with have doubled their income. They've attracted incredible opportunities, award nominations, promotions, offers, book deals. They've launched dream projects. They've launched dream companies. They've signed their first dream clients. They've expanded their existing businesses. And most importantly, they've shifted more into alignment with the work that feels really good to do because it's their life calling. And that's really what I'm all about. And that's really how you access that energy, right? It's by cutting out the bullshit that you don't want to be doing, that's sapping your energy, and streamlining all of the ways in which you're showing up in the world so they're really in alignment with who you are, what you desire, and what you were built for. So in this training today, you're gonna learn my top strategies to manage my energy when there's a lot on my plate. And these are things that I've implemented that have allowed me to completely heal depression and burnout and many areas of unfulfillment in my life, which have really led to me birthing a completely new life of abundance and freedom. I'm going to share with you how to navigate a lot of unexpected life situations with minimal anxiety and more fun and joy. And I'm going to share with you how I access my best money-making ideas and prioritize following through on that inspiration. So let's dive in. Please drop some hearts and some emojis in the comments if you're in and you're ready. Grab a pen, grab a journal, and whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching the replay, please share any insights that come through for you, any questions that come up, and I'll be sure to address those. If not live, then I'll come back and answer your questions later. So first of all, let's just take a really deep breath and set the clear intention to just let go of anything that you've brought with you up until this point, and set the intention to receive whatever insights are going to come through for you. So a lot of the time when I'm talking, when you give yourself this time and this space, maybe some other random insight's going to come to you that might not be completely directly related to what I'm speaking about in the moment, but recognize and trust that you are in a position of open receptivity to capture those insights and intuitions that you know are really important and valuable for you. So pay attention to that, whatever comes up. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Hopefully you can still hear me above the construction, and hopefully it's not going to be going on for too much. I'm in Philadelphia right now, staying at my friend's place. So let's dive in. So my top strategies to manage my energy when there's a lot on my plate. Can you still hear me? Tell me if you can't hear me, and we'll try and work around it. Not everything goes according to plan, but we're going to roll with it. So here's a bit about my story. So I have been through lots of massive life transitions in the past few years in the process of immigrating both to Canada and then to the US. Obviously, having two businesses, I've transitioned from my copy business through to my coaching business, and I've lived in so many different places, so many different countries, with so many different currencies, banking systems in all different countries, and it has been complicated. And you know, there's been a lot of paperwork, there's been a lot of things that I could never foresee, right? Especially in the immigration process. Suddenly you'll get an email and it's like, oh no, I have to spend 10 hours, you know, compiling this list of painstaking paperwork of like everything I've done in my entire life and where I've lived and documents and blah, blah, blah. So I'm just sharing with this with you because I know you'll resonate. You know, life can throw curveballs at times. We can never foresee, you know, what we're gonna have to hear. You can hear perfect. Thank you, Nicole. You know, we never know what's going to crop up, and we don't have control, right? We don't have control of the people that are in our life, what they're doing, how their health is, what problems they're going through. There's always going to be something to contend with, right? And just as, you know, soon as things can be going smoothly and easily, suddenly you get a curveball that you have to deal with. So these, what I'm going to be sharing with you today is really, you know, the foundation that can keep you going and keep you, you know, keep your energy levels as sustained as possible, so that, you know, when you're in those good times, your energy levels are really high. When you're in those moments where there's more pressure, or, you know, you're really stretched in terms of your capacity to take things on, you've still got that really solid foundation that will keep you going throughout it. And it's not gonna, you know, completely swipe you out and, you know, put you out of action, which I've definitely experienced as somebody who's gone through a burnout. So in clawing myself out of these energetic real like sinkholes that I found myself in, you know, I spent a lot of time researching what are the things that support our physiology, you know, our emotional health, our mental health, so that I could really put all of those building blocks in place to consistently elevate my energy from every single direction. And that's really the main takeaway that I would love for you to take from this session today, is that it's little actions in many different places that create your energy and that creates the feeling and the success and the momentum. You know, I really went into shifting my energy and my own health journey thinking that, you know, this one thing that I do is going to be the thing that completely solves all of my problems and makes me feel amazing. And while that was a little naive, it was also a really amazing success strategy, just in the way that I put everything into everything that I tried, every practitioner that I worked with, every shift that I made in my life. I was like, this is going to be the thing that changes everything. And, obviously I just kept going and I kept going and I kept going. And the cumulative effect of all of these little tweaks made a massive difference over the long run. Now I have more energy than, I've experienced in many, many years. I rarely get taken out. My productivity is, at probably the highest levels that it's ever been. And it went through, having to go through those dips for me to be able to really learn the process of elevating my energy with such momentum. So, and obviously while I still experience the highs and lows of being a human being and of having different physiology, different hormonal states at different times of the month, and I still can feel down from time to time, I have an incredible level of resilience that allows me to bounce back, that has a suite of tools for me to be able to pull from to enable me to get back on top again much more quickly than before. So this is really about getting back to basics. And I think it was the story of like one of the top basketball players like Michael Jordan or something. And I love this idea that to really become masterful at something, it's really just about mastering the basics. It's not about having all of the fancy, like twirls and swirls and extra like add-ons. It's really about being masterful at the basics day in, day out, and really being conscientious about that and not letting it slip. So my number one, if you've been following my work for a while, you will probably know this, and I will talk about this until I'm blue in the face, but the number one most important strategy and daily practice that I fully believe in has the power to completely transform your life and make all of your dreams happen with miraculous speed and consistency is a daily mindset practice. Because your mind is so powerful. So really tending to it, just like you brush your teeth every day because you don't want to have stinky breath, take care of your mental state, your inner narratives, your focus, the story that you're telling yourself, because that single thing alone is going to influence the way you show up in every single other area of your life. So, cultivating a daily mindset practice where you check in and you do some journaling every day, you do some meditation every day, you connect to yourself, you set a very clear intention as to how you want to feel, the vision that you're moving towards today, and cultivating, the state that you want to bring to the actions that you take, and really to cultivate the way that you're feeling and choosing that state as a choice, as a habit every single day, completely game changing. So if you're not committing to your daily mindset practice, now is an amazing time to start. And if you fall off the wagon, just get back on again. And we're going to be talking more about habits as well in this training today as well. So hold on tight. Next one, so daily mindset practice, non-negotiable habit. If things aren't going well, just do more mindset work. It's pretty much like very simple solution to everything. Daily meditation, another one, also very key. If you're not taking that time to really connect to yourself, to really create space for insight to come through, it's not going to come through. So I'm full also believer in that the more you meditate, the more insight you're going to have, the more peace and calm and emotional balance you're going to have, the better your life is going to be. So if in doubt, add mindset work, add a meditation break. Even 5 minutes, right? Even 10 minutes is going to make the world of difference. And it's really the daily consistency that makes all the difference too. So the next one that's been really key for me, and that I encourage everybody that I work with to cultivate a new level of habit around, is daily movement. So, I went through a period where I had chronic fatigue, where even moving my body and exercising would often bring on more fatigue. And what the thing that changed for me was just getting outside and walking for 30 minutes. And obviously a brisk walk is ideal, but just doing it every day, allowing the body to move. When the body's in movement, it's in rest, because we spend so much time sitting, unless you have a very physically active job in which your body is moving, then, just being in movement, being present in your body, it removes a lot of emotional stagnation. Just the breath allows us to release a lot of emotional stagnation. So if you're experiencing any type of anxiety, depression, stagnation, sluggishness, fatigue, get out, go for a walk for 30 minutes a day minimum, your life is going to change, right? And then from there you can build up. So whatever the next level is for you. For me, I noticed a big spike in my productivity, in my finances, in my happiness and my health and my well-being when I signed up for a yoga studio and I started going to 3 classes a week. And I've moved around a lot, so having membership to a studio is not always something that's been accessible to me. And so in those periods of movement, I've dedicated to a daily yoga practice at home. I have a membership called Yoga Glow, tons of really incredible courses from amazing teachers, and just upping my daily exercise is something that always comes hand in hand with feeling better and having more energy. And now I'm not saying that this is what you should do. And I recognize that everybody prefers different styles of movement. And some people, love to pound it out at the gym. Some people love to, run up a mountain. Some people love to do Qigong. And, some days I feel like doing more strenuous energy. Some days I feel like keeping it really, really chill. But I'm always moving my body every single day for at least 30 minutes, even if it's really gentle, even if it's a yin yoga class. So daily movement, whatever the next level is for you, whatever feels good for you, whatever makes you feel energized after doing it, do it and do more of it. So the next one, which we're going to be talking more about later, is daily creative play. So this is something, again, that led to a massive shift in my energy, just giving myself 5 to 10 minutes a day of creative playtime that's not, working towards a creative project that has a specific outcome, that has a lot of expectation attached to it, but really to just either sit down and fill in, an adult coloring book, playing guitar, singing along to my favorite song, having a dance break, hula hooping, going out taking some pictures, whatever it is that calls to you. Maybe it's doing some pottery, maybe it's knitting or sewing or making jewelry. Whatever it is that just allows you to have some moment to play, to create something is, it's a very healing practice, and it's an incredible emotional, physical and mental shift that you make for yourself when you devote that time for yourself for no other reason than because it brings you joy. And we're going to be talking more about that today as well, because I have the Creative Fun Club is launched at the moment, which is specifically a container to support you to cultivate a daily habit around that. So mindset practice, meditation, movement, creative play, and then daily money actions is another one that I tend to every day, because financial stress is one of the number one causes of emotional stress, right? So that is one of the number one self-care activities that we can give to ourselves that starts to eliminate that stress. So, and that's a whole other topic which I can talk on for hours and hours and hours. We'll touch on it a bit later, but I'll leave it there for now. And then the other part of the basics that, if you just come at this with an open mind and really ask yourself, what is the benefit of this for me? What is the next level for me? What is it that I'm being called to shift that would actually bring me more energy? Even if you've heard all of this before, really keeping an open mind and just asking, what is in this for me? Where can I benefit from this message? Number one thing that became an absolute non-negotiable for me is quality sleep. Obviously, as somebody who's recovering from fatigue, sleep became pretty freaking important. And I just want to take this moment to remind everybody that sleep is, there's a very unhealthy culture around sleep. And maybe there are many people in your life that aren't getting enough sleep, and maybe it's kind of normal. And especially in North America, they love their coffee over here. And that is kind of seen as the antidote to creating energy. And we all know that that's not the answer. When you drink coffee, it depletes the adrenals, creates more stress hormones. You're on a slippery slope down if you are sustaining your energy simply by drinking coffee. So, for you to really have the energy, you need to create the energy first. And one of the most important functions as a human body is to sleep, however much you need to sleep every single night. And there's a lot of studies going on about this now, and there are varying different reports. Everybody claims a different number of hours is the ideal amount of hours. I think they say from 7.5 up to 9, with an absolute minimum of 7, because there are just simply processes that need to happen for your body to rejuvenate so that it can show up and function well the next day. So whatever you feel, and sometimes we automatically wake up after a certain amount of hours, but we are conditioned. So it's really about reconditioning your body to be sleeping more. But obviously not sleeping too much, and finding whatever that next edge is for you that would just gets you to wake up feeling restful. Maybe it's shifting the time that you're going to sleep, quality sleep, whatever needs to happen in your life. If you don't take appointments early in the morning so that if you didn't sleep well, you have some time to sleep in if you need to, that's what I do. So that no matter what, when I show up to work, even if I didn't have, a lot of time to do my morning routine and do the things that I like to do in the morning, I've had a good sleep and I can show up and be productive and still have a good day. If I show up and I haven't had enough sleep, it's not going to be a productive day. So this is number one, massive, getting good quality sleep. And the next one is just getting quality food, vitamin and herb supplementation. Whatever your next edge is for you, one baby shift at a time. One thing I will say, in the winter, take a vitamin D supplement if you don't want to feel depressed. Next one, quality inspiration, ideas and media. So I really see media as just the same as diet. If you're eating junk food, you're not going to be feeling good. If you're consuming junk media, not going to be feeling good. If you're watching things that take you on an emotional roller coaster, make you filled with fear and dread and anxiety and desperation at the world, it's not a fun place to be, and you have to pull yourself out of there, emotionally and energetically. So I completely detoxed from news for years and years and years, and I'm not completely disengaged. I'm very engaged in conversation in certain media channels that allow me to consume news in humorous and feel good and fun ways, and I only go there when I feel strong enough to be present with some difficult emotions. And I'm very, very strict about only consuming media from people who inspire me, who elevate me, who are living life in a way that either I aspire to or that I really resonate with and value. And I pretty much eliminate everything else. So, and the next thing that's really important that I wanted to share in managing energy when there's a lot on your plate is outsourcing. And this is the art of asking for help. And it's something that, we all have room for improvement on. And it's really about living in community and allowing people to support us just as we support them. Because if you're watching this, I know you're probably empathic and sensitive, you're a carer, you're a giver, and you are contributing a lot. So you get to ask yourself, where can I get better at receiving? Where can I get better at asking and joyfully receive that help? And learning to delegate and learning to ask, learning to negotiate. These are all skill sets that support us in maintaining our energy levels, and that we get to continually improve that. Another one that I want to add is weekly time in nature, obviously daily if possible, to get to your local park no matter what it takes, and just walk and breathe and do it in daylight as much as possible, especially in the winter months. When you can build all of these into your day, and sometimes this is my day, right? Sometimes it feels like it takes the whole day to get all of these things done. But then I can show up and I'm so much more powerful, and then I complete my other activities and my other priorities with so much more power and joy and effectivity and productivity than if I skip out on these. And obviously, if you can't do these things every single day or every week, first of all, you will feel it. So just be aware and be in that that information loop. So you do have a feedback, and which of these things have I not done for a while? Okay, let's start doing more of these things. And then you'll immediately notice your shift in energy. And when you start to be in that feedback loop, really not being in judgment for when you let things slide or you forget to do things or you allow other things to spill over into your priority list, you don't get to beat yourself up about it. Again, mindset. You just get to re-choose, and you get to recognize, there are things that you can do that you haven't been doing that are going to shift you to a better place. So, how to navigate a lot of unexpected life situations with minimal anxiety and more fun and joy. So, when other unexpected things occur, when you feel like you don't have the time for mindset work or meditation or sleeping in or creative play or friend dates, do it anyway. This is my number one tip, my number one takeaway for you. And in fact, do it twice as much. If there's ever a time when you feel like I don't have time to do my mindset work today, or I'm so busy I don't have time to do my meditation, do it for twice as long. That is my challenge to you, because those are exactly the times where you leaning on these tools, where you leaning on your self-care habits and toolbox and strategies, you're going to show up and problem solve with so much more power, and you're going to last so much longer, and you're going to maintain resilience so much more capably than if you allow these other things to slide. So all of these things that I've just shared with you, these are the antidote to burnout. And let's be honest, burnout is the culture, right? Everybody's do, work, give, you know, show up. All of these things, be more, do more. This is the message of the culture that we live in. And the number one strategy for you to be able to do all of those things, which is great, is for you to make sure that you are taken care of and you have the energy to contribute to these actions. You know, it's really about balancing the feminine with the masculine. You cannot show up and take action if you haven't slept, if you haven't eaten. And our bodies require different levels of nurturing at different times of the month if you're a woman, and at different times of the season, especially when you're in transition. So sometimes you can feel like there's so much on the to-do list that you just simply have to get it done. Again, coming back to the mindset work is really going to help you to see, you know, whose story is that? What narrative are you accepting as truth? And do you really have to do all of these things? Because sometimes, especially when we're in low confidence, if we feel we're not good enough, if we feel like the thing that we're trying to achieve is completely impossible, we will create a lot of other extra unnecessary tasks because we're kind of stuck in not in the momentum, not in the power, not in our full creative force that actually allows us to be like, no, take confident action, believe it's possible, and really see the fastest path to the result, rather than skirting around, maybe creating a lot of extra to-do work, maybe procrastinating, you know, maybe just undermining our energy levels and staying stuck at the level that we're stuck at. So do it anyway. And, you know, obviously eliminating anything that is not a priority right now, and really getting good at feeling into that. If it feels constricting, if it feels like a should, say no. And learning to do that is another skill as well. You know, if you feel like you're overgiving, if something feels like an unequal exchange of energy, whether it's the amount of money that you're receiving, whether it's giving to a friend who's more of a taker than a giver, whether it's a relationship that's really draining you and burning you out, know when it's time to say no, and recognize that being in that narrative actually serves everybody. Because you overgiving, you not being able to take care of yourself, you not showing up at your best is no good for anybody. So really getting, I'm looking for a better word than the word ruthless, but devoted. I'm going to use devoted to saying no to things that constrict you, that feel like a should, that feel like an unequal exchange of energy or an overcommitment that just doesn't feel aligned for you. Letting them go and being comfortable with having more spaciousness and knowing exactly what you're doing with that spaciousness when you create it. Doing your mindset work, spending time in nature, you know, cooking a healthy meal, whatever it is that you feel is just the next most accessible path of least resistance to accessing more nourishment and more energy. So making sure that everything I've listed above gets number one priority. And if you want to create a tick list of that so that when you do have some time, you know exactly, you know, you can look at that list and pick one thing that would really just elevate you and expand your energy. And the more you put time in your schedule for these things, the more expanded your energy is going to be, the stronger your foundation, the less it's going to affect you when you do face a challenge. So, okay, next one is how I access my best money making ideas and prioritize following through on inspiration. So I mentioned earlier that making money is a daily practice, and tending to it and taking action on it daily is going to be the thing that, you know, again, always, I just love the toothbrush analogy. If you don't want stinky breath, if you don't want a shitty financial situation, just pay attention to it every day. whatever that task is for you, just checking your accounts, taking some actions. And the way that I make more money and that I access inspiration to follow through on my big ideas, and I cultivate the strength and the conviction to be able to really devote to that with consistency, is by doing everything that I mentioned in the first section. So really, to access, like I said, the shortcuts to the results that you want to create. You don't get there when you're stuck in low energy, when you're in anxiety, when you're, feeling stuck, when you're feeling like you don't have power, you don't have control, you don't have capability. These are all like low energy states. So for you to access inspiration, power, momentum, this is a high energy state. And all of the actions that I listed at the beginning of this training, these are the daily practices that cultivate a high energy state. And so by really devoting to that and allowing yourself to grow your energy, to grow your strength, to elevate yourself, to really nourish yourself on a moment to moment, on a day-to-day basis, you are in a state of inspiration. And you know this, right? It's always like people talk about when you're in the bath or when you're in the shower, you have those incredible ideas. Or maybe it's when you're out walking in the park or hiking, or even just walking to catch the bus. Maybe it's when you're listening to music. Maybe it's when you're playing music. Whenever you're engaged in a creative activity, one that's really, got you in the present moment, that's got you out of your head, that's when you access those ideas and that inspiration. So it's really about capturing that and following through on that. And you can't follow through on it if you don't have the spaciousness to take action on it. And if you're so busy, giving, doing, and you haven't had a good night's sleep, you can't follow through on your inspiration. Like, let's be completely honest about that. So, when we're taken care of, when we show up with power, we execute and we magnetize in a completely different way. You can meet somebody who could have a life-changing opportunity for you, but if you're half asleep and you're not really engaged in the conversation, that opportunity is never gonna, sprout and bloom and become visible to you. Or you'll never see it. Or maybe you'll refuse it. Even if it is made available to you, you'll be too busy or too tired to follow through on it, right? So, and I'm going to offer a bonus to everybody on this training to share with you my training, which is the money mindset routine to double your income every year, which goes more specifically into the daily actions that I take. And that's an opportunity that I'll share with you a little bit more later. But let's just come back to this idea of like really tapping into your creativity. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing tools and processes, forming these daily habits so that you are cultivating your creativity as a priority. Because your creativity is your ability to, make an amazing, healthy food during the week on whatever budget you have available. It's your ability to pull together a project with, the network and the community that you have, no matter how many, financial resources that you have. It's your ability to get a business idea up and running, regardless as to, how much time or money or energy or network you have available to you at that moment. Your creativity is your access to solutions in every single moment. So cultivating that as a priority, as a practice every single day is the thing that creates much faster shifts for you. And not only that, but living in creativity is fun, right? It feels really good when we're doing those things where we're in the states of creativity and flow, connection to our body, out of our head. It's just fun to live in that place. So cultivating that as a habit and then allowing those habits to expand more and more and more so that we're spending more of our time in those states. And that's just living life in a really fun and feel good way. So that's exactly why I created Creative Fun Club. And, I created it for a few reasons. Number one is to help you create a habit around your passion. And, so often we're conditioned to put aside the things that we really are passionate about or, that we care most about because they can be emotionally difficult topics. We can have a lot of resistance around it and we can have a lot of like limiting narratives around our ability to follow through on those things. So it's really about creating the habit to pull those priorities up to the top of the list. It's also about really just being happy and having fun and creating a habit and a lifestyle that is in your chosen state. If you want to be happy, if you want to enjoy your life, then choose it as a habit every single day and practice it. And, another reason why I created this program is to really lay a powerful foundation to either begin or build or add to your existing daily mindset practice, just so that you can take your life, your happiness, your creativity, and your success to the next level. Because it feeds into every single area. When you say yes to your creativity day to day as a habit, you access those ideas, you create solutions, and you access, the emotional resilience and the momentum and the time and the energy to actually be able to follow through on them. And when you start to get messages and you access your inspiration repetitively over and over and over and over, it's like that momentum just starts to drag you because you get so excited by it because you're so connected to it, rather than just leaving it as something that comes to you every now and again, when you do have those little pockets of time once in a blue moon when you feel tapped into your creativity and, really your truth. So if this is resonating with you and you want to be in an inspiring community, to have support, to really focus on cultivating your mindset practice and to be able to have more fun, to just elevate your energy, to be living more in states of creativity, I would love to have you join Creative Fun Club. And for everybody who's been watching this training today, if you join by the end of the week on Friday, I'll give you my bonus, the money mindset routine to double your income every year as well. So what it is 30 days where you're going to get a daily email of inspiration and support. And then you're going to have weekly mindset trainings where we're really going to be diving deep into mindset rituals and what I do specifically, and to help you to get an understanding of really like how and why it's important. So you really learn to start showing up for your practice every single day, as well as to teach you the intricacies of what resistance is and how to put the systems and structures in place so you're always working through your next edge and you know how to deal with self-sabotage if and when it crops up, whenever you start expanding, and reaching for that new next level. And, it's also there to help to support you in scheduling your priorities to bump up to your next level in your dream projects, and making sure that those things that maybe you've been letting them slide down the priority list, to make them the top of the priority list consistently, and how to navigate it when they do slip down, and to really understand what mechanisms are at play so you can stop that from happening. So you can use it for, if you just want to focus on deepening your mindset, your daily mindset practice, or if you want to add creative playtime to your mindset practice to really just elevate your energy and to shift and become more magnetic, become more connected to your creativity, and to elevate your energy levels. And you can also use it if there's a particular thing that you want to be working on every single day. And, 30 days, you create a habit. When you show up for something every day, you start to wire the neural pathways so that when you slip off or you stop, there'll be this kind of instinct that nudges you back again. So it's really to create a habit that you intend to continue from now forward so that you can start to create more momentum. And 5 minutes can turn into 30 minutes, can turn into an hour. But it's really about starting small and taking on small, feel-good moments of devotion towards the things that expand your creativity, that make you feel really good, so that you start to release the stories of I'm not doing it, of I'm not showing up, or it's hard, or I don't have time, and really starting to disprove all of those to yourself and create this evidence bank that you are capable of showing up at this new thing, creating this new habit, really cultivating your next edge, and doing that in a place where you feel really supported and where it's fun. So I'm going to drop the link below for all of those of you who are interested in joining. And if you have any other questions, I would still love to know your biggest takeaways from this training today. If you have next edge that you're, like a thing of inspiration that popped into mind for you, that would, that daily practice that would make all the difference, or that particular project that you really want to work on, or maybe it's a health and hygiene thing that you want to implement, please share your comments below. And thank you so much for watching, and have an amazing day. Bye.